Alright, so here we are on the bus once again, and as you can see, we have a finished subfloor. Heck yeah. So, some of this, in some spots, there's a little bit of jank here. My carpentry skills are still not great, but, some of these are pretty good, pretty alright. Coming back here, I even got the janky bit, the curvature back here, all put in, so that's pretty cool. There's some gaps and stuff back here, but I'm not overly worried about it because this is going to be a garage back here. So it can be a little drafty. I'm not overly concerned. There's going to be a wall. I'm not quite sure where yet, but somewhere in the 2 to 3 feet area, just to give me a bit of a garage and a spot to put stuff for handling the plumbing and stuff, because there's got to be a thing here for the diverter pipes that are going to go out, so I can clean the roof, as I discussed in the last video. So a few more things to do. Obviously, understatement, right? But next major things to do are to put in, the furring strips. So I've been looking into that, and I think I'm going to do take the approach from, what's his name? Chuck Cassidy, I guess, where he uses a pair of 3/4 inch plywood cut into 2-inch strips for the furring strips instead of using dimensional lumber. That seems like a sensible way to do it. I know he also apparently has this thing where you should totally leave gaps on the floor, which I did accidentally in some spots. But here, that's pretty flush, so I'm gonna have some fun thermal stuff with that. But so with that, what's gonna happen is that's gonna be put in, and that's gonna be 1.5 inches. So once that's all run, then I will probably run my own electrical, maybe see if I can salvage some of what's in here already. He's got these runs for the puck lights and stuff like that. And I did actually figure out what the plan was, which is good. So this red wire goes all the way up. Trying to avoid the bright lights. Comes all the way in here, into this mass, and then there's a pair of white 110 or 120 volt lines that come out of here. One side goes, starboard, and the other goes port. So I think what the plan here was originally for this bus was the battery bank would be here, and the distribution panel and handling stuff would be, by the driver's seat. So in thinking about it and reading about how batteries work, apparently there's issues if the batteries are further than 18 inches from the bus bars or wherever it is you're putting them. So I think the batteries are going to go here. So the plan at the moment is to do 6 300 amp hour 12 volt batteries in parallel, to give me a total of, 1,800 amp hours? Something like that? 300 times 6, yeah, 1,800. So, reason why is because I plan on running a bunch of electronics and such, like a full-size computer, eventually a server rack, stuff like that. So if I want to have that kind of stuff, I need a lot of power. That's also why I've got, plans for 8 150-watt solar panels and the 2 wind turbines. Now you might be saying, those are probably pretty heavy, and yeah, they are. That's like 300 pounds right over the wheel well, which I'm not sure how great an idea that is, but that should be counterbalanced by the fact that the water tanks are going to be over here. Now I've got one in here. The reason why is because now that the subfloor is completely done, I can start working on the layout. So that 1x4 there is there to kind of judge where the privacy wall is going to be, and then the bed is going to be right there and adjacent to it. So the plan is to have a kind of pull-out kind of thing. Navigation Nowhere did this, where their bed in a short bus build, it's got slats that are connected to beams on alternating sides. So then you can kind of pull them out, and half the slats will come out, and it gives you a lot more area on the bed, but it can be compressed, like, stowed away. And it also lifts up and there's storage underneath. And so I said, okay, well, if I do that, maybe I should put the water tanks in here rather than, underslung, just to save build time and, materials and stuff like that, and the, pain of drilling through metal on the underside of the bus. But considering I want to have, this is a 55-gallon tank, and I'm going to have three of the plan right now is to have three of those running from basically there all the way along here, almost abutting. There's some stuff under there in front of the wheel, but basically use this entire area from water tanks to give me 165 for, some solid boondocking power in terms of potable water. But, it was like, oh, hey, what if I put it in here? And no, I can fit 155. I mean, I've got a 65, which I'm going to use for gray, but, yeah, no, I don't want to have under 100 gallons of water. So we're going to go, I might reduce it down to just 110, so 2 tanks underneath here, underslung, depending, because there's some space issues, because I need to get some UV lights in there for purifying, and some stuff to agitate the water, just in case it sits for a while. Because, it's going to take me a minute to go through, 150 gallons, and then, doing the rain catchment and stuff. So there's got to be extra equipment down there, and I need to make sure that it's all insulated and fun. Any road. So yeah, this is about where the bed's going to go. And then the fridge is going to go here, I think. And then this is going to be, so we're like kind of halfway between the wheel well and where the fridge would be. This would be where I put the induction cooktop and convection oven. Here, got caught on one of those wires. Brilliant. And then here would be the wood stove. So, and that's kind of another thing where I'm having some second thoughts or doubts or something, because this wall, the pantry is going to go here. Like, basically the entirety of this wheel well, okay, depending upon the battery stuff. So with the batteries in here, that eats up 20 inches of height. And then I need to have like the distribution cabinet and the inverter and all that stuff in here. And I'm not sure how much space that's actually going to take up. Because the original plan here was this side was going to be the electrical closet, and the batteries were going to be underslung on this side of the bus. Well, that doesn't work apparently. So, yeah, the batteries basically have to be here for this to work. So then that's 20 inches lost there. And then however big the distribution thing is, that does not give me a whole lot of room for a closet. So, yeah. But anyway, back to the pantry. The original plan was for the entirety of the space above this wheel well to be a pantry to store, dry goods and canned stuff and whatnot. And I don't mean just like, tins you buy at the store. I mean like canning, like that kind of deal. But if the wood stove is right here, I kind of feel like that might do nasty stuff to the pantry. And I'm a little hesitant to put the wood stove next to the batteries for obvious reasons. So I think I need to reponder that. Then this side, to get past the privacy wall. So once you get past the privacy wall, this is all going to be bookshelves. I have a pretty sizable library that I need for, reference for research and, stuff I just like to read and whatnot. So kind of need that. And then coming this way, somewhere in here, is the sink, and then just cabinet, counter space with actual like cabinets and stuff, for like utensils and stuff. And then here would be a washer dryer combo underneath the counter, right? Because they're small enough to do that, apparently. I mean, it depends on the model, but the ones I've been looking at, it looks like it should either be a good fit or, be good enough. Or I can adjust. Then back here, this side would be the bathroom, right? So some kind of composting toilet thing there, a little vanity, and I want to do a full shower. My concern is that with the height and how tall I am, I'm not sure I can get like a shower head that's actually like above my head, so I'm gonna have to get one of those like nozzly ones on a thing. Anyway, this will be enclosed by a barn door, and part of the reason for that is because over here on this side, this is going to be my desk. And so my thinking is that if I can line up the opening of the door with where I would be sitting, then I can have the door open and have more room to like lean back in the chair and stuff. I mean, yeah, it'd be a little awkward to, lean back and be halfway in my bathroom, but it's a bus. What do you want? Then the server rack would go probably here-ish, I think, and then we'd have the garage with all the aforementioned stuff. The other thing that needs to be done, I don't know if you can tell, well, I guess I kind of want to walk backwards here to avoid the nasty light. So you'll notice, walking backwards, there is no emergency exit hatch in this bus. There wasn't even like one before they did the spray foam. Like, this is a pretty complete, bar here. So I'm gonna have to, when I finally get access to the roof, which I didn't manage to get a ladder, so that'll be next time, next big shopping thing. Gonna need to put a hole in the roof somewhere to put in a fan. And or a hatch for internal roof deck access, which I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not, just because, well, it just the amount of work, I guess. But, yeah, so still gotta box in the wheel wells, do the strapping. Those are the next two big things, I think. Because, yeah, I don't want to run my electrical until the furring strips are in. Just because I could use them for, support and stuff. I also might do the neat little window covers that Jimmy and Natalie did in their bus before they moved to their van. Because those seem neat and pretty effective. But I think I would need to take doing that into account when I put in the furring strips. So that's a thing that I need to keep in mind. Also, some of these windows are going to get spray foamed over when I do the next layer of spray foam, because obviously once the furring strips are in, that's going to be, insulated. So, like, the ones behind the bookshelves, there's no reason for them to exist. So, I'm not going to do an actual full window delete or anything, just because I don't have the knowledge to do that. So I'm just going to spray foam over them and hope that's good. I think that'll be fine. I mean, the back door, the bottom part, which is normally a window, is spray foamed over. So I feel like that should be fine. I mean, maybe, not ideal, but not terrible either. Like, that feels like a totally serviceable solution to the thing. So, but yeah, subfloor, all done. Only took me 2 months. Whew. The plan now is to be done with this thing by summer of 23. Obviously, the original plan of being done at the end of this calendar year is, yeah, not happening. All right, there we go.